Today on episode 82, our Wendell Davis episode of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, a Sports Minute, our local legends interview, our local food spotlight, the NFL Pick Show, Media Rex, and a TCF top three and a TCF not top three. Let's roll. Hello and welcome to episode 82 of Typical Chicago Fans. I am Boomy on Twitter at BoomyTCF. Make sure to follow the main page at typical_Chicago and check the Facebook and Instagram page. Head over to those and give those a like. Head on over to the YouTube page as well. Subscribe for all of our content in video form. Make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts. Wherever you get your podcasts, you can find us there. But make sure to follow the guys that I am joined with tonight. They are on Twitter at Zach is at ZLiliaTCF and Matty is at schools_01. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at 26shirts.com Chicago. Head on over to their website, 26shirts.com/Chicago to check out the coolest Chicago sports merchandise around. I've got my shirt on tonight. I got another one up there. They're the best. Some of the best teams
right here.
There we go. They've got everything from shirts that you see us wearing, hats, hoodies, flags, whatever you need. Just head over to their site, find the product or products that you love, and at checkout, use our promo code Typical Chicago Fans for 15% off your order. If you love our show, love great Chicago merch, and love helping out a good cause, head on over to 26shirts.com/Chicago and pick up some gear with the promo code Typical Chicago Fans for 15% off your order. Boys, we are back. How are we all doing tonight?
Doing good. It is official. Oh, it's almost the weekend here. Beautiful weather. Like you said, I keep saying it sucks how early it gets dark. I only got to golf until about 7, like 6:37. But it's like the beautiful weather that you just wish it could stay a little bit lighter out, but you get what you get. But you say we got baseball on, we got football, we got all these sports going on right now. The NBA Finals is still going on right now, so just soaking up all the sports as we got it.
It is a beautiful time of year now that everything, and we've talked about it since April or May at how well we're going to, get paid off at the end, and it's definitely starting to reap its benefits. Matty, how you doing, man?
Good, dude. It's been a good night. We just got to see the Yankees die live on TV, so that was awesome. Hate that team. Hate their fans. Don't really think much of the city. New York pretty much just sucks. So anytime you can see the Yankees lose to a team like the Tampa Rays, so I'm good with that. Big homer by Brusso. My Lord, what a homer off the Aroldis in the 8th inning. Give him a 2-1 lead and seal it up. It's nice to see Aroldis give up a big homer and it doesn't hurt us. I'll say that.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys were listening, but they brought him in like the 7th inning.
Yeah.
Joe Madden would like this. It's like, okay, dude, shut up. Cubs won the World Series that year. Did not get eliminated by the Rays, but that was awesome.
Yeah, it was. That ball was a missile too. That thing got out quick.
Okay,
the Rays
drive homer.
It's 322. It's 322 to right field there.
That's crazy.
I think my softball field may be almost farther than that.
I'm pretty sure Houston is 315 to left, but it's at least got a little bit of a small wall that it's got to climb a little bit. But
yeah,
I don't know, man. Some of those stadiums just it makes it pretty easy for these guys.
Yeah, especially with them taking home runs so far lately.
Oh, for sure.
It has been a fun postseason, and we will get to the MLB Championship Series in the Sports Minute Rundown. But let's jump into it as always. Sinkers.
Wait! I forgot to add how good we are doing. Zach 4-1 Bears. Sorry, Boomy. I just had to throw that out there. The Bears are 4-1.
We're gonna get there too. No worries.
The Bears are 4-1.
The Bears are 4-1. I just want to remind everybody the Bears are 4-1. They just beat Tom Brady. So I just telling everybody.
Hey, guess what? The Packers can't even win this week.
Good one. Clever.
Sorry, Boomy. My bad.
You threw me off. You're all right. That's all right. It wasn't Matt that threw me off. It was Zach's bad dad joke that threw me off.
Are you flustered? You sound flustered.
I can always appreciate a good dad joke. Come on.
Absolutely. For sure. I just wasn't expecting that, Zach. Good one.
I hope it doesn't mess up your flow of anything. Like, I hope it doesn't
no
fluster
worries.
you or anything.
No worries. I don't get flustered. No, I don't know what that word means.
Are you
My
sure?
bad. My bad. I just had to throw it out there. The Bears are 4-1 again. I just want to remind one more time.
Well, let's remind everyone about the guy who is my sinker, who is very flustered because my sinker is grave robbers. Obviously, you only hear about them usually in the history books, stealing stuff out of Egyptian tombs and stuff like that. But Danny Frazier in Knox County, Tennessee, he has been a little flustered lately too because he caused nearly $30,000 in damages at a cemetery while he was trying to resurrect his dead grandma. He was busted for breaking headstones and digging holes in a failed seance at the Huckleberry Springs cemetery in Knoxville. So yeah, $30,000 worth of damage just for this idiot to try and dig up his dead grandma.
I cannot. I think this is like probably the third or fourth time that Knox County, Tennessee, has been featured in this segment.
Either this or a wacky web story.
It's got to be and it's always for a sinker. And that's the county that's where Knoxville is, which is where Kane is the mayor, because we've talked about other things going on recently. So I know Knox County's got and it's actually a really, really nice area too. But
beautiful
obviously got a couple screws loose in the mountains.
Yeah, you'll have that. You will have that. My sinker is Salt Bay. Salt Bay, the big guy got famous for literally just doing that, and I guess he can make the food. I don't know. I never really actually saw him cook.
He's an amazing chef.
I just saw him cut the food. Never saw him cook the food. Saw him cut the food. But I think it was this Boston restaurant. They got in trouble for COVID related things going on there. They were not using the right protocols, and that got shut down. And I don't know. I've always been a little annoyed by like the Salt Bay like rise to fame. I think it literally just did this.
I don't know. I've seen Benihana chefs do better things with knives than that guy. So.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate for a quick second. If you guys ever get a chance, look up. There's a video of like his backstory and how he was really like raised on the streets of like a third world country and like worked his way up. But like I'm with you. It's definitely overplayed. And Matt said that there's definitely chefs out there that do cooler stuff. But the backstory on him is pretty interesting.
The first time I saw the shrimp volcano, my mind was so blown. Absolutely perplexed.
Put you in a pretzel.
Oh, for sure. Sinker. Well, I'm going to another life experience, and I'm in the middle of it tomorrow morning. And I know it's something that a lot of people always complain about, and it's installation and delivery windows. I've got new internet service being installed tomorrow, and I was given an installation window of between 8 and noon.
Oh,
do you realize how long 4 hours is? Like when you really need like basically every hour of the day at certain times. And like right now, it's just one of those times where I'm really behind at work. Kid's going crazy. He needs attention. Wife is home. She's got school going on too. And so it's like just a lot of shit going on. A 4-hour window to just, hey, you're kind of stuck here doing whatever, waiting for somebody to show up. It's like, can you just narrow it down a little bit? That kind of shit just
I'm with you.
Amazon can tell you like when they're 3 stops away from your house. I think these guys got to be able to give me better than a 4-hour time frame. That's all I'm saying.
I'm with you.
I've had to deal with that too with just buying the house. I've had to deal with that some stuff with that. It's like we can't figure this out a little bit closer to time. Give me 2 hours. 2 hours is even better.
Just like, hey, slot me in. Like I go to a doctor, I've got an appointment. I go to a meeting at a bank. You've got an appointment time. Like it's just that's the time you go. Like you got to have an idea of what you're scheduling and what you're dealing with. So it's like, how do you not just like, I don't know. I don't get it. Especially if I'm first up in the day. Damn well better be closer to 8 than noon. You know what I'm saying? But Anyway, that's just like my typical, not really big a deal, but kind of a big deal rant.
Love it. Moving to our floaters, mine, I'll start off, is Tasmanian Devils. Because at Tasmanian Devils were basically, I don't know if I'd say extinct, but their numbers were super low in Australia. And they have been returned to the mainland there for the first time in what scientists believe in 3,000 years. They released a bunch of baby Tasmanian devils, and I watched a video on these things. Obviously everybody knows Tasmanian devils, like what Taz from Looney Tunes, but like these things are carnivore, like they will eat anything and everything. So I'm glad that the Tasmanian devil population is returning to Australia, but I'd be a little worried if I owned a small dog or cat out in Australia, because these things are vicious. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think that would always that would be
what a wild country.
Fear with just like, even around here too with coyotes.
Coyotes, exactly. That's what they are. They're basically Australian coyotes. But then you got like whatever, you got the kangaroos to deal with. Those things like literally punch you.
Snakes the size of like your house.
Yeah. Crocodile Dundee.
My floater, it's kind of brought on by them, and also just I forgot how much we hated them. The Astros, the hate for the Astros.
Yeah.
They're saying stuff, being like this and that. This people hate it, and we're here. They are now in the NLCS. They will be facing the Rays. So I don't know. I'm a huge Rays fan now too. I like them before. Yeah. I would love for them to beat the Astros. Nothing would be worse than the Astros winning this. But also, it'd be the biggest asterisk again, because that's all you had to say. It's not a real season. The Astros didn't win, but
perfect opponent to lose to after the cheating scandal. The season that follows up, lose to a team that just has to scrape and grind and they just kind of build from within. It's the true organization. Like the true team concept.
I really do think the Rays are the better team here too. I think the Rays are a very good team.
That lineup, everybody's dangerous.
In a normal year, the Astros don't even make the playoffs.
Oh yeah, they're not even 500. They weren't even 500 in the regular season.
31 in the regular season.
Right. So I just think that all baseball fans can agree on, unless you're an Astros fan, I guess, that we can hate the Astros and all cheer for the Rays now. We had to cheer for the Yankees. It would have been tough to pick which one between those two. But now just cheer for the Rays.
There's a part of me that wants to go order one of those like inaugural season Tampa Bay Devil Rays with like the jerseys with the purple and the lime green. Those were sweet. I should probably hop on some sort of app and get one of those sent to the house for the ALCS. But
I think their military ones, their military appreciation ones one year, like had kind of a camouflage mix with like the purple and the green. If I remember correctly, they had a pretty good look one year on their military, like their Memorial Day ones.
Now you're going to send me down a rabbit hole chasing a military jersey.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I'm pretty sure they did, but my floater it's kind of a sad one, but you guys know I'm a really big Hawks fan. It's Corey Crawford, and he's not going to be re-signed by the Blackhawks. And his career was absolutely outstanding for that organization. Arguably, arguably the best goalie in the history of the team. Really, when you start breaking down the numbers, he 13 seasons with the Hawks, won 2 cups. He was the series against the Lightning. He was absolutely outstanding.
And it's classless how the Blackhawks did it too. Class. For Stan Bowman to go on I think it was on the radio or something, and he said, "Oh yeah, we're not bringing him back." Like, you should have a big celebration for him if you're actually going to do something like that. Like, he won you all these Stanley Cups, and it just shows you that Stan Bowman is not a good businessman. He's not a good general manager. Is that what he is?
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah. The fact that the guy was willing to take less money and a short-term deal to
what are we going to do now?
To not saddle the Hawks Now they got Colin Delia and Malcolm Subban are your two.
Yeah, they
goalies
just
right now.
re-signed
and
Subban.
you're not going to go anywhere, let alone you're very likely not going to even make the playoffs with a pair of goalies like that. So there's a lot of guys in the market, but you had one in your backyard that was willing to take a below market deal. The money is there. It just goes to show too, like you said with Bowman, for every one good move that he makes, making a draft pick like Kirby Dach, he has 2 or 3 moves that just set you back further. It's just like, trading Jokiharju last year is something that I will never allow him to get away from, because you cannot give up a defenseman for just a third or fourth line forward is all Carlson's turning out to be, and it makes you wonder, it's frustrating as all hell.
Yeah, it's
at some point they're probably just gonna have to tear it down. And frankly, if I'm Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane, I just see Corey Crawford get walk out the door like that. I'm going double birds. Get me to a good team. Get me to a good team.
I won you all these Stanley Cups, and you're gonna treat me like this. You're gonna give me these teams. What's this team gonna be next year? Who even knows?
Bad.
It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be ugly.
Yeah.
Also, Matt, great segue too. Right into sports.
That's true. That's true. That's what I do.
Yeah,
Matty serving up on a silver. I'm like Steve Nash, just dishing out dimes to Dirk over there.
Love it.
You calling me Dirk? Thanks. Let's jump in.
You got the flow going. So
always.
I don't want to see you do that again.
Yeah.
As you guys got to earlier, Zach's got the hat on tonight. The Bears, 4-1. Yes, sir. I will give this. That was an ugly win, but it was a good win.
Did Tom Brady not know it was 4th down?
He had no clue.
No clue.
I love how they try to say he did and whatever.
Clue.
No, there's no way he'd have his 4 fingers up saying, "What's going on here?" Yelling to the ref saying, "What's going on here?" And you're like, what? How do you not know what down it is? It was clearly 4th down.
It'd be one thing if it was like a rookie and he's 42 years old. Like, how do you not know?
They got a first down or something, but I don't even think they got a first down in the whole possession, right? I think they got it taken out. So I thought that was very confusing.
What are your guys' thoughts on Nick Foles? I mean, we talked. I was at Zach last night.
Okay. Can I go first, Matt? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
He put Matt Nagy in his place last night. He did what Mitch Trubisky, he doesn't really have the resume to do, and he's just not really there. You can't, how do you do, the Bears wanted, it's almost like Matt Nagy wanted to lose that game. How do you not run the ball in that last possession there? What are we doing? You gave the ball pretty much right back to him with, what was there, a minute or so left? I know they had the time. They had
minute 36.
But still, I thought that was bad. But I think that with what he did you kind of saw them get into a little bit of an argument. It was kind of one-sided. I think he pushed back and he knew what he wanted to do and what this offense wasn't doing.
Well, at some point you've got to listen to your veteran quarterback, and you've got to just, I understand maybe pushing back on Mitch a little bit if he's saying, and I don't think Mitch was probably that type of player. I don't think he probably questioned too much. It seemed like he was probably a little bit more of just, kind of a soldier and did what he was supposed or told to do and tried to do the best at it. And that's another thing too. The people that will not let up on Trubisky, like in social media, and like just the guy got benched. What more do you want? Just let him be. Like just let him be.
He's going to be gone 6 months anyway.
It happens all the time too. It's not like he's the first guy, and he may he's going to have another chance somewhere else.
Right. Sorry, that was a total side note, but Nagy's so frustrating at times, and the clock management in both the end of the first half, they left 2 minutes. They gave Brady 2 minutes to march down the field, and he didn't do anything with it at the end of the first half, luckily. But it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know. For an offensive genius that we hear so much about, it just doesn't seem like there's a lot of willingness to just adjust when he needs to. You know,
that seems more and more like a fraudulent thing every single week he does something. And you're like, yeah, and I'm not trying to just poop on it because like
I think it's a play calling thing. I think as a team leader and he's got he owns the locker room. The guys like him. I think they play for him. I think I don't think they dislike him generally speaking. But it just seems like as a play caller, it's like, what the fuck are you doing sometimes?
Yeah, especially he's supposed to be this offensive guru. He's this guy that's supposed to come in. And then today he comes out and kind of bashes the offense and says they can't do this and that. And then he was just naming off 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 9. Well, maybe if you put them in the right
play calls put them there.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, what are you – you're calling yourself out. So I thought that was stupid, very annoying. And also, I don't know. I just think that if I've kind of boiled it down to Matt Nagy has to take most of the blame for a lot of the problems that the Bears have kind of had, and because it's just the play calling. And I'm not saying Mr. Trubisky. I'm not going with that. Mr. Trubisky was his own fault, whatever. But what I'm saying is he's just not putting them in the right offensive positions right now.
See, one spot I will give him credit on that I think he's figured out a way to utilize the guy and really gotten a lot of Patterson. He's found a way to get a lot of production. The whole experiment out of the backfield, I was like, what in the hell are they doing putting Cordero Patterson out of the back? And it hasn't been that bad.
That's work.
And the whole concept of it is to get, he's a good playmaker in space, get him the ball and let him try to create. And you can do that out of the backfield in a lot of these situations that they're doing. He's got decent enough hands being a wide receiver and a returner, so you can kind of run a lot of the swing plays with him. I saw Big Cat was calling out the shark wheel. For a couple times they threw down the sideline to him. They got Montgomery on that too, and that streak to the sideline. Foles throws that ball so pretty, like it's just got a lot of touch underneath it. Throws it right where he needs to. That little 25-yard little loft pass down the sideline. It's really, really good ball that he throws. But man, it's like what is Nagy going to do next? It's like, again, it's one of those things. He does one good thing right, like with Cordero Patterson. The next thing, it's like, where'd David Montgomery go? Like, why does he just disappear?
One step forward, one step back.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely. But the Bears are in a good spot. 4-1. I don't know off the top of my head who they have.
Carolina.
Okay.
Another winnable game. That's another winnable game. I mean, the schedule opens up again a little bit.
Definitely. I agree. Carolina's playing better, but obviously not, a top, burning down the rest of the league. So it'll be interesting to see going forward and how the whole Nick Foles and Matt Nagy relationship works. Something I want to bring up, guys, the Titans. How in the world I don't understand how you allow this team to continue to play. They clearly broke protocol in a quarantine to go to a local high school field and practice while they were, being quarantined for COVID going around, and the NFL is just not doing anything about it. Like, what are we doing here? They're
kind of just moving along and pretending like nothing else is happening. Like, they're moving the games. Now we have a Tuesday night game, an extra Monday night game. They're pretty much just being like, okay, we're going to contain what we can, and we're going to keep it moving. I mean, I think the NFL was going to do this back in like July. Like, they're just not.
That was what I kept saying like a long time ago. The NFL is just going to plow through it. It's like they're going for herd immunity. It's just like you got league herd immunity, where it's like,
and then
get everybody COVID and then just be done with it.
The Jets were false.
Yeah, I think the Jets were false positive.
I'm pretty sure you're correct, Zach. I thought I read that right before we started here not long ago.
Yeah, they had like a statement come out like, that's crazy. Like, that's the second time now.
Yeah, right. If anything needs the extra practice, it's the Jets. So fade them. As we mentioned earlier, the MLB Championship Series are set. We will have the Dodgers and the Braves in the NL, and then in the AL, the Rays and the Astros. Obviously, we were all kind of pulling for the Padres. It didn't really pan out, but I think that them getting in the playoffs this year, them running into a team that's going to be, atop of their division for a long time. The team that they're going to have to go through to win that division. It was a good thing for them. I don't think we've seen the rest of the San Diego Padres.
No, but this podcast is a Tampa Bay Rays podcast.
Yeah, we switched from a Padres to a Rays podcast here in the last
because we
week.
don't. Also, just the Astros do not need to be in the World Series.
Yeah. So I think, do we all want to see Tampa Bay Atlanta in the World Series?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I do not want to see the Dodgers.
I would love to see
There's
Atlanta.
a small part of me that wants to see Clayton Kershaw win one, but I think I'd still rather
Clayton Kershaw. You love Clayton Kershaw.
He's gotten. I mean, the thing on him is that he just can't pitch in the playoffs, and he lost a World Series to a cheating.
Whose problem? Yeah, that one time. That was okay. I'll give him that one. But he's had other times where he's.
I know
they've not been cheating.
Cubs
and also hurt you, Darvish, too.
Cubs knocked him around in 16.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, Corey Crawford just signed with the New Jersey Devils.
Oh,
that's good.
2 years, $7.8 million deal. So good for him.
What a garbage contract!
That's a lot of money.
God,
that's a lot of money.
Less than $4 million a year for a starting goalie. Unbelievable. I've got a big problem with that.
That guy Frank the Tank.
I got a real big problem with that.
How do you give him up for that kind of money?
He was at 5.5 a year before this.
And he would have taken less than 4. He probably would have even taken less than that to stay in Chicago.
Unbelievable.
But
Stan Bowman's got his job.
Yeah. People come and go. Coach Hugh,
unbelievable.
Gone. Now Corey Crawford, gone. We got coach in here. We got all these new whatever, all these moves go on. Guess what stays the same?
Infuriating.
Unbelievable.
Last thing in the sports minute, the Lakers might not give Zach his wish. They are down 8 as we record. They heard Zach talking about how he wants them to win, so no one cares. So they're gonna just stick it to Zach. So as of right now,
they're gonna win it on Sunday. They're gonna win it on Sunday night when the NFL's going on and no one really gives a shit at all.
Oh, I will. I'm coming to Zach's house to celebrate.
Whatever.
I'm not talking about it anymore. I'm done. Because guess what? Now that I think about it, what if the Bulls played like LeBron and the Lakers? Who do you got to cheer for? I wonder who you cheer for.
The Bulls.
Lakers, your favorite team in the freaking NBA?
No. I've always said I'm a Bulls fan, but I cheer for whoever LeBron's on. Obviously, lately it hasn't mattered because
worst type of fan.
You're the worst. What do you mean? Because I like a player?
No, you can like players and not be obsessed with it.
Ooh, that's a good lead-in, too, to the top 3 and not top 3 right there.
Boomy, if you don't like players from other teams,
if you don't take LeBron 1-1,
pick at me all the time like I am going against LeBron. Like I don't care what LeBron is doing. I'm going against the Lakers.
I just like to poke the bear a little bit.
I'm more on Zach's side on this one, only because I hate LeBron. LeBron sucks. This guy's the worst.
I used to like LeBron when I used to cheer for LeBron, only LeBron, but I was 10.
Zach was the first person I ever knew that owned a LeBron jersey.
Yeah. I liked him when he was at St. Vincent St. Mary.
That is a good jersey.
It's a fire jersey.
Let's move into our local legends interview. We have part 2 of our interview with Dr. Elie Daniel. I sat down with him a couple weeks ago and talked about sports medicine. Again, same thing here. You're going to learn a lot. There's going to be this is probably one of the most informational, educated interviews I have ever done or will ever do. So we're going to go ahead and throw it to part 2 of the interview with Dr. Elie Daniel.
A question I have about the athletes, the high performance athletes that you've worked with in the past, especially if they're, of the professional, of the semi-professional level, is there a pressure as a medical professional to expedite anything because of their pro status or something along those lines? Or do you just stick to your script and you do what you need to do for that patient? You're not. Or do you feel that, maybe not even, externally thinking it, but like, hey, this guy's a professional soccer player or this guy's a professional rugby player, whatever. Does that ever come into mind?
Okay. So, there are certain things that you cannot negotiate with the patient about.
Definitely.
Okay. A lot of patients come in and they negotiate with you. You need to be 2 weeks off. No, doc, I cannot. I have to be 1 week off. No, you cannot. You have to be 2 weeks off. No, I cannot. I have to do this, this, and this. So there are a lot of socioeconomic things that interfere in medical decision making. Nevertheless, those socioeconomic things should not interfere if there is a dire need, which means if you have a broken bone, you got to get off of it.
Right.
If you have an attenuated tendon, then maybe I can get you into physical therapy to help you out a little bit, get you moving, tape it up, do things like that to get you going.
Make your life still able to go on.
Exactly. Now, these pushes that the athletes have done throughout the years, which means, hey, doc, can you do anything else?
Yep.
Or can you find me a different
Can you get me back in 3
Yeah.
weeks instead of 2 months?
And so these pushes that those patients have given us as a doctors made us actually think of new ways.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Okay?
that's true.
So then you start to think outside the box. Okay.
Interesting. I never looked at it like that.
So we start to think about this in a different way. Okay, so what if it is my ankle and I want to do this?
Right.
What am I gonna do? If I know everything I know about the ankles, what am I gonna do to help my ankle not to have this problem?
Right.
At that point, I'm thinking about that and I'm thinking, okay, I have to explain this to the patient and tell them, hey, this is what you need to do to stop this injury from recurring. Thus, you stop the problem in the future. Thus, you can go back faster. So it ends up being a situation whereby I'm not negotiating as much as I'm educating.
That's a great way to put it. That's an incredible way to put it. And you got to think, we were talking last night on the show about, the freak accident that happened with the Chargers quarterback and having his lung punctured. Are there, and I don't know how this really is overseas, do a lot of professional teams internationally have their own doctor, or do they use, public practitioners?
Yeah. There are a lot of good doctors out there.
Oh, yeah.
Don't
Absolutely.
And I've seen and I've actually interacted with a lot of experts in their fields, and the minds are out there. It's just that you just need to find that mind,
Yeah.
And no matter how much somebody tells you, not everybody is going to get the same result with the same person.
Right. There's so many variables.
Exactly. So let's say you have a very, there's a deformity of the foot, let's say, and you are trying to play anyway. All right. Now, I have to deal with the deformity at the same time deal with you trying to play.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. It's kind of both pieces.
So what I'm trying to say, this happens with everybody. All the doctors are thinking this way. Are thinking, okay, what can I do to help my patient get better? And that's where you kind of, it's not a book thing. It's not like you can write a book or read a book about this. You're actually thinking from all the experience that you've learned throughout the years to actually come down to, okay, well, this is what needs to be done on this patient, or this needs to be done on this patient, and so on and so forth. So you end up being kind of like, squeezing your mind for, okay, what can I do with this patient that I can help him get where he needs to go, knowing what I know. So basically, then and there are a lot of times where I say, you know what? I've reached the end of my knowledge. Maybe you need to get somebody else to actually give you that knowledge as well. Maybe they have a different way of doing things. And there has been a lot of improvements in everything. There has been a lot of theories that are coming out of Switzerland and Germany about how you should actually exercise and stretch. Theories about how the body is made. And the more we understand how the body is made from origin, the more we can actually treat it. So that's important because a lot of people now are thinking about what they call spiral dynamics. Spiral dynamics comes in from the idea that everything is a spiral, believe it or not. So let's say the black hole is a spiral. The flower is a spiral. The human body, believe it or not, is also a spiral. So if you have a spiral that's coming down to the ground, it's going to spring off the ground as it comes down to the ground without doing too much effort.
Huh.
So the brain doesn't even think about what it has to do because the actual body is coming down off the ground right or as it wants to, just because of that spiral orbit. So it becomes it becomes a thing that, hey, that's a new thought.
Right.
Right? Okay, not a lot of people around here know about this. In Europe, it's becoming more and more famous.
Sure.
So again, it could be a fad. No one knows, just like PRP, like whatever else we do for athletes. But all of these things come into play. Mm-hmm. So as a doctor, I'm thinking of all these things that I know, that I've learned, and actually trying to say, okay, well, this will help you in this position.
Right.
And then I will direct that patient to do whatever they need to.
That's awesome. Now, is it one of those things where you just get to the end? Do you have like a checklist that you go through mentally, or is it just like if you're dealing with a patient, you're trying to get to, help this patient out? Is it one of those things where the light just kind of comes in your head and you're like, you know what? I've tried and I've thought of everything I can. Now it's time for me to go, maybe get some outside help or, consult another. Is it just kind of like a switch of the lights for you?
Correct. Well, what happens is you end up in a situation whereby you reach a point where you have to be humble. I told you that in the beginning. You have to be humble. You're not God.
Yeah, for sure.
So once you reach that point, you have to say, you know what? I have to refer you to somebody else.
Gotcha. You don't want to keep pushing it too far, because then you're not.
And then you're causing more problems.
Definitely.
And we don't want to do that.
For sure. For sure. For sure. So this is something that we have talked about on the podcast before, and I'd love to hear your opinion. One of the biggest things in youth sports right now is the specialization. Kids playing, one sport all year round instead of playing, basketball and baseball and football, and you're kind of bouncing around. Do you see anything medically that would suggest, one way or the other, kids specializing in one sport or, playing the field, playing different sports till a certain age?
I am more of a proponent to play the field, which means play all the sports.
Definitely.
Why? Because you're young.
Right.
Okay. So your body is able and agile to do all these things. And also it gives you a mindset, which means, okay, well, maybe this game is not for you. Another game would be.
Find what you like, find what you don't like.
Exactly. And how would you know without actually trying?
Definitely.
So if you do one thing and not do the other, in my opinion, you're not actually doing yourself a favor. From a medical point of view, there is nothing that stops you.
Right.
So if you want to do it, by all means do it and try it, as a kid. And as a parent, by all means encourage all kinds of sports.
For sure.
The only limitation is problems, So if there is a problem and the patient see the problem with kids is they don't tell the parents.
Yeah.
Play
through it kind of
right,
thing.
The parent have to actually see it.
Yep.
All right. Or the grandparent have to see it. So let's say a kid comes in and they're like putting their hand in their ear all the time.
Something's not right.
So what would you think?
Probably has an earache or something along that.
Possibly an infection, right? So you want to investigate, right? Or they rub their ears all the time. What are you thinking? Oh, maybe they need eyeglasses, right?
Yep.
Now they're not saying that to you, but you
have to be observational about it.
Exactly. So they're giving you the clues without you knowing.
Right.
And so that's where parents come into play, actually understanding what their kids need.
Yep.
And what their kids are telling them without telling them.
For sure. I know one of the things that gets talked about is like the rate that, younger kids are having Tommy John surgery with the elbow and, how fast some kids are being rushed into that. Basically taking a tendon out and putting it in the elbow. There's the old baseball surgery, Is that something that might be being exploited because of specialization, where kids are only playing base? Would you do more damage to, if you're playing baseball all year round, are you going to do more damage just by specializing in that one sport, whether it's an elbow or a shoulder or?
I'm not a specialist in those areas, but I can tell you from the foot situation, whenever we do tendon transfers, let's say we do a tendon transfer on a patient that needs it, a CP patient, let's say, If they, we need to do maybe or pes cavus, which is basically a very high arch foot or a club foot or whatever is the problem. You know, that we need to do a tendon transfer or tendon release or whatever. The minute you touch a tendon, tendons have like 5 stages.
Yeah.
Okay. And the minute you touch a tendon to do anything with it, it loses a stage. Okay.
Yep.
So it goes down a stage.
Really?
Yeah. So if you do, let's say you're taking a tendon from the front of the foot, putting it in the back of the foot. Well, now we're actually removing a tendon that actually moves the foot up. Okay.
Yep.
Putting it in the back of the foot. Now the foot. That tendon is coming from a muscle that is trained by the brain to actually do what? To move the foot up.
Instead of the other way.
Right. So now, as it fires, what is it going to do?
Go up.
Well, there is nothing going up. So it's going to...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Do you see the problem here?
Yep.
So you end up having a lot of training to that muscle because the brain has to actually understand that this is no longer doing this function.
Yep.
And when you lose a function of a tendon, we are made perfect.
Right.
We are made perfect. Whoever created us, I tell you, was perfection.
Yep.
And believe it or not, I mean, the simplest thing, you should really see one of my YouTube channel videos. God, or whoever you want to call it, that force that made us, believe it or not, on the big toe joint, your big toe, there is a capsule would hold the actual fluid in that toe, so as it actually becomes lubricated, so as when you walk, it won't be very painful for you as a human being.
That's crazy.
So can you imagine that care that happened there? Okay, that's number one. Well, that happens to all your toes.
Yo,
Not only
man.
that, all right? Not only that, guess what? There is a tendon that goes to the capsule, moves it out of the way before the toe goes up.
It's crazy. It's something so minuscule that makes what we do that we don't even think about.
Exactly.
Like
so that's
getting
what
up
I'm
and
saying.
walking to your fridge over there, we wouldn't even
So
for a
that's why
second
I'm
think
saying.
about.
That's why I'm saying. You tamper with that, and or you change the way you are made. Okay, then you have a problem.
Right.
Now, if you were born with a problem, I understand.
For sure.
You know. And then we try to help as much as we can to put things the way that everybody else is, because we know the anatomy of everybody else. So we try and help it that way and make you at least be able to walk. You know? Some people we may not be able to, and some people we will be able to. So it depends on your anatomy and your problem.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying, if you have a good anatomy, try everything. So
there you go.
You won't say, hey, I was doing this and that's what caused the problem. No, it's not.
Right. It could be, like you've said many times, it could be a variety of things. It's so, intricate and so
that's why
in depth.
It's important that you seek a professional so as they can tell you what to do.
Right.
They're not there to judge you. They're not there to minuscule you. They're not there to make you feel terrible. They're there to help you out.
Absolutely. I think in that's honestly like part of, just the way that some people look at the medical profession lately, it makes me sad, because there's some people out there, and I'm sure, you see on social media that, doctors are, out here to make a buck. It's like not the right ones, like all the doctors I've been to, and I've been very fortunate, they're, like you said, they're out there to help you. They're out there to make you better. And they know more. You've probably forgotten more about the medical field than I'll ever know. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how in-depth the knowledge is. You just got to find, like you said, the right one, the right specialist, whatever it is that you're ailing from. You've got to be willing to go out and find that person. I think that's so important that people forget.
That's very important that you find the proper professional for your problem. It's very important that you know that. For sure.
I got to get into it, Doc, and I got a little bit of a beef with you, and this is a good thing. You've been on. When did you create your YouTube page?
Actually, first I created was about October 17th.
Okay, so less than a year ago.
But I've only been active with it since April.
So you've had a YouTube page, like an active YouTube page, since April. It's the middle of September, so let's call it 5 months. You are up to 402 subscribers. We have been plugging away on YouTube for like 2 years. We've got like 72 subscribers. So whatever you're doing, make sure you follow Dr. Daniel. If you go to YouTube, type in Dr. Elie, E-L-I-E, Daniel, D-A-N-I-E-L. He has amazing videos up here. In all different kinds of surgery or recoveries. Is there any one that you would tell someone if you just met someone on the street, you say, hey, go watch this video?
Yeah,
which one?
The basic video that I like everybody to watch is how to buy shoes.
Ooh, I'm a shoe guy.
So it's very important that people go and see this, because a lot of people don't know how to buy their shoes.
That I never thought of that.
Very simple, very basic. Don't go and looking at my tendon transfers and or my tendon surgeries and my total transplants that I've done. You don't want to do that. I'm telling you to go for the basic.
I like the toenail removal one. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, that's simple. Again, we're trying to be simple. We're trying to be basic.
Yep.
You know? And a lot of people go into, oh yeah, you have the L5, L6, S1, S2, whatever, you know, no problem. Well, I'm not doing that. All I'm doing is trying to be as simple as possible, trying to show patients that they can even do this on their own sometimes, you know, just to actually understand what their problems are.
For sure.
You know, like buying shoes. It's very simple. People need to learn how to do that. It's
absolutely.
It's a very, very simple thing.
I own probably 50 pairs of shoes. I wear a size 15. I'm probably not a perfect size 15, but I got a little bit of a fatter foot. So I'm probably like a 14 and a half, but I wear a 15. And this video is only 4 minutes long, guys. I'm going to post it to my Twitter. How to buy shoes. And it's so simple because like so many people out there, you know, I can think of, 10 guys off the top of my head that own 25, 30 pairs of shoes. They probably don't even know what they're looking for. And they might even be, I wear a different pair of shoes every day. I'm not even afraid to admit it. But I wonder why after, I wear this certain pair of shoes, my feet hurt. My ankles hurt. And that makes a lot of sense.
That's why I put this out. Now, I did this like maybe a year and a half ago when I was in Tbilisi, because a lot of patients were coming in and they were like, what kind of shoes do we get? What kind of shoes do we get? I'm thinking, I also get that question here in the United States too, so why don't I create something? And right there and then, I said to somebody, okay, hold the phone. I'm gonna record this so as everybody can learn how to do this.
That's awesome.
And that's what we did, and that's why it's on there. Now, there are other things here, intricacies again. If you have questions, please ask.
Absolutely. So make sure, like I said, go to YouTube, go to your search bar, type in Dr. Elie Daniel, D-A-N-I-E-L, and make sure to subscribe to his page. I know, even people that I'm friends with or acquaintances with love medical videos, and there's stuff there for everybody. And people can also follow you on Twitter at Dr. Elie C. Daniel. I will also tweet his page from there. You're growing on Twitter, so you got us on YouTube. You're kicking our butt on YouTube, but we got you on Twitter for now. But I mean, if the numbers continue to grow like they do YouTube, you're going to catch us in no time.
Well, I'm trying to reach more audience simply because I think what is lacking out there is education.
Definitely. Oh, for sure.
And so I'm trying to keep up the education out there as much as I can. And I think that the more educated you are, the better consumer you are.
Oh,
no
for
matter
sure.
what you are. So that's what I think is going on. That's why we're doing this.
That's awesome. You're doing a great job.
It's free, by the way. You can, on YouTube, it's free.
Exactly, for sure. Doc, thank you so much for joining me. This has been amazing, and trust me, with the clientele that listen to the Typical Chicago Fans, we love you guys. But a little bit of a science and anatomy lesson is exactly what we all need. So,
and I'll be more than happy to go into specifics if you ever want to. We can do that. We'll do like maybe a podcast specifically for, let's say, heel pain, or specifically for metatarsal injuries or whatever. We kind of today are just testing the water. We'll see how it goes. It
was great to have you for the first time, and we'll be sure to get you on again, especially if a major sports injury happens to the foot or the ankle. You'll have to be our medical expert that we're going to have to come over and get your take on the injury.
Anytime.
All right. Doc, thank you so much. Make sure you follow Dr. Elie C. Daniel on Twitter, and make sure to subscribe to his YouTube page, Dr. Elie Daniel. I'll tweet those links out, so make sure you give him a follow.
Thank you to Dr. Elie Daniel. That was part 2 with him. If you haven't listened to part 1, go ahead back to episode 81. We will release the video as a whole on YouTube as well. So thanks again to Dr. Elie Daniel for coming on. Let's jump into it, boys. We got our local food spotlight. Zach, you want to lead us off?
Yeah, I'm going to start off with, it's going to be pretty much the whole thing's going to be dedicated to them. Taco Madre in Mendota, Illinois will be opening the 14th. I think that is a Thursday, October 14th. Wednesday. Wednesday. I'm not sure I know where it's at, but I don't know what the address is or where that exact location is.
On Route 34.
Yeah, it's over by I guess I really don't know how to.
I'm
not good with directions. But Taco Madre in Mendota, Illinois, opening on Wednesday.
604 6th Street in Mendota.
Go check it out. Hopefully, me and Boomy will be there doing some food reviews. Very exciting. I'm very excited for it.
I've got to recommend the Chimneys there. I've always gone to their location that they have in St. Charles. So the food at that one is outstanding. So I can only imagine now that they're opening up a location out by you guys, it's going to be as dynamite as this one is too out by me. So great food. They have all kinds of good sauces and stuff too. Do
you have a top 3 things on the menu by chance, Matt?
I always get the chimney, so that's always been my staple. Wife is a big fan of the taco platters because you can mix and match, and they have all sorts of different tacos, different kind of different spins on some of the typical favorites. But then I also like traditional stuff too. So the chimichangas, oh my god, it was dynamite. Comes with a little cup of queso too, and either pour it on there or dip it on the side. It's basically a deep fried burrito, so it's just, you can't really go wrong with that.
Can't beat
in my
that.
opinion. No, I don't think you're not ever gonna go wrong with that. So Taco Madre is absolute dynamite place. So you guys will love it when it gets going there.
Locally owned, looks beautiful on the outside. I've seen the pictures on Facebook. I can't wait to see what that.
They got cool signage. They got really cool signage. I like the logo and stuff. Looks good. It's a nice little low key place too. It just kind of fits in. You know what I mean?
Like I said, though, me and Boomy will be doing food reviews from there.
Maybe we'll have to come out and join us.
Yeah. I'm telling you, if you just get the chimney, whatever you do, one of you has to pick that for the review. And I always add chorizo. I always go steak, add chorizo as well to it.
You're speaking my language, Matty. That's what I like to hear.
Just a little tip and trick. And it was funny, too, because I always used to call in my order. And the girl, it always used to be the same girl that would pick up. And she would say, I think I remember your order from last week. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I've never had anybody order chorizo with steak. I'm like, I can't avoid it anymore. So
that's awesome. You're a regular now. They know your order before you have to give it to them. That's awesome. So check out Taco Madre, 604 6th Street in Mendota. We will be there this week. But we have to move on to the NFL Pick Show. Quick update on the standings. I am in first place at 16-7-1. Just behind me is Zach at 15-9. And Matt just trails him at 14-10.
I was just saying, if you're taking our picks, you're winning money.
Yes.
Also, we just made ground up on Boomy when Boomy decided to fade the Bears when the Bears went to 4-1 against Tom Brady on Thursday night. So Zach and I both got wins there. Just want to remind everybody the Bears are 4-1.
Boomy knows I bet the Bears.
Yep, and I ended up hedging my actual bet on the Bears, so I was cheering for them by the end. So I came full circle on that one.
You're one of those guys that bets your mind into a pretzel, don't you? Like, all right, I got that. I
give myself
Matt, betting, watching this guy bet during a game, trying to figure out, if I lose this way and I win this way, can I save myself this way? It's like, dude, just let it go. And you're like, you just can't, his brain will not calm down.
It's the hedge master Boomy, dude. It's the hedge.
No, it's something. I tried to hedge a parlay I had the other night, and so I had won 3 legs of the baseball parlay, and on the 4th, so I was going to hedge the Padres because I had the Dodgers win. So I put in a hedge bet, and then I woke up and my account had more money than I thought. I accidentally hedged it on the Dodgers, ended up winning it both ways. It never works out like that. So usually it goes the other way. Hedge and it loses both. So I'll take it, though. But let's get into it. As Matt said last night in the Bears Buccaneers game, Zach and Matt both had Chicago. I took the L on Tampa Bay. Let's get into the noon games. Does anybody want to go first?
I'll go first. I will take the Chiefs at home minus 11.5 against the Raiders. I do not think the Raiders are a very good team. I think the Chiefs back at home 11.5. I'll take it. I think they win by 2 touchdowns.
See, the Chiefs just worry me a little bit. They didn't play that great against a very, very banged up Patriots team. But like you said, Zach, them being at home, they kind of, a very different situation with the Patriots game having to get that moved around. So I don't know how much stake you can put in that. But I don't hate that pick at all.
I'm actually going oppo of Zach in this one. I actually have the Raiders. So I think it's a spot where John Gruden kind of likes to get up for some of the bigger opponents and kind of relishes the chance to show how good of a coach he is, I think, at times, and kind of gets his teams fired up a little bit extra. Not that always matters. I think it's a little bit of a letdown spot for Kansas City. We kind of had a little bit of a grind out win last week with Belichick and the Patriots. Seems like, Kansas City's kind of due for a little bit of a letdown spot. I do think 11.5, 12 points is a lot for a division opponent, regardless of who it is. And I do think the Raiders still have a little bit of talent. They can move the ball on the ground. Waller's a really, really good tight end too, and I just think that's a long number for a division opponent as much as anything.
I am staying away from that game. I am going with the Los Angeles Rams minus 7.5 on the road at the Washington football team. I just think Washington's terrible. They're making the switch to Kyler Allen.
Kyle Allen. He was the Panthers quarterback last year.
Yeah, if I don't know how to pronounce your name right, you probably stink.
So if you can't pronounce Kyle, I think Boomy. It's just regular Kyle.
Well, isn't there a Allen somewhere?
I think you're thinking of Kyler Murray.
It's been a long day. You're probably right. In my other noon pick, I am going with the Houston Texans. I'm trying to make sure I have.
I was looking at that. I like that a lot because they got rid of the coach. They maybe they're all fired up from that. I think they.
J.J. Watt going after Bill O'Brien.
Can you blame the guy? Bill O'Brien?
No, not at all. Not at all. Don't blame.
I'm going to go with the Arizona Cardinals minus 7 against the Jets. Jets stink. I think Arizona hasn't been playing well as of late, but I still think that they can beat the Jets by at least a touchdown.
I think it's something Arizona's bound for a big one. Like, they're a good football team. They've been playing with some bad teams.
They've already had to travel east once too. They've already had to go to Carolina. So I don't think the west to east coast thing is going to affect them as much this time around. They've already done it once. They had the letdown spot with Carolina. They should absolutely roll the Jets. I agree with Zach. That's not my pick this week, but I'll definitely be on the favorite in that one. My second one this week, and I'm going with another big underdog, and I'm going with Joe Burrow and the Bengals as a 12-point dog against the Ravens. The Ravens, they feast on bad teams, and I don't think the Bengals are nearly as bad as some people think, and as nearly as bad as they've been traditionally. Joe Burrow's already a very, very good quarterback. He's already revamped that offense. He's made them to a spot where they can move the ball down the field. Joe Mixon is a very, very good running back. You cannot sleep on him. He can make big plays. He's pretty good in the pass game still, too. And he's absolutely outstanding on the ground if they can get him some space. The offensive line's been rough because Burrow's been taking a beating. But if they can open up a couple holes, Mixon can pop one. He's got good speed. He's a really solid running back. And it just seems like the Ravens – I don't know. They're very good, but it does seem like they just kind of have letdown spots when you just don't really expect it. Another situation, too, I think it's a long dog in the division. Feel a lot better. Cincinnati was at home. What's up?
It's a lot of points, kind of like you said.
It is. I mean, we're almost looking at 2 touchdowns there at that point, and it's like, I don't know, man. Are the Ravens really 2 touchdowns better right now? And I don't know that I can say they are.
Well, I mean, before we get to the 3:00 games, can we just add one more noon game to the 3:00 game? Like, why can't we? No, not us. I mean, the NFL. Why can't the NFL add one more 3:00 game? Like, why do we have to have? What's the point? Is there like a quota or something? It's annoying.
Yeah, I don't know if there's if it has to do with sponsorship money or what, but
only 3:00 games just kind of stinks.
Game of the week, because they want a game of the week, so they have like a featured game, so they have a lot more limited.
So you're telling me it's about money?
Games going.
But the NFL, it's only about that money. That's crazy.
It is shocking.
Who would have
because they? And the thing is Sunday Ticket in the red zone is perfect for the noon session or the 1 o'clock.
Yeah, and then the 3:00 games, like we were watching.
You hit the brakes a little bit.
Yeah, when the Bears lost, we were watching the Bears game on the regular TV, and you had red zone on. It's like you're pretty much watching the whole game over again.
Right, absolutely.
But Boomy, you can go first. You're winning.
For the afternoon games, give me Indianapolis -1, Cincinnati, or I'm sorry, Cleveland. I can't buy into them. I know they had a big win last week, and I probably am going to regret this. But that Indy defense is something different, and we'll see if Cleveland is a real contender when they have to go against a real defense. I don't think Dallas's defense is that good. So give me Indy -1 on the road.
I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers -9 at home. Garoppolo will be back, and I just feel like this is one of those games where if you want to be the team that you were last year, you're gonna have to start being it. And with them getting their quarterback back, and we'll kind of see 9 points to the Dolphins at home. I don't know. It's just I don't know.
The Dolphins, and no one can get a read on. The Dolphins.
Now I kind of like the Dolphins though too.
Well, it's Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick in September is a lot different than Fitzpatrick in October traditionally.
I think they will. The 49ers at home will hopefully by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. I don't know. I went against Zach in the noon session. I'm going to go against Boomy in the 3:00, and I'm fading you, Boomy. I think it's one of those spots where I don't know. Baker Mayfield's looked a lot better than he did.
Matt, can I be very honest with you? I wrote this down, and then as I was saying it, I remembered how good Cleveland played last week, and I kind of regretted saying it. But
as Bears fans, we remember that defense is good. That's a good defense.
It's a very good defense.
Team has a very good defense.
It's a very good defense. I agree. Myles Garrett, though, is playing out of this world. It feels like this year too, and it seems like he's kind of refocused after the issues he had last year. When he went after what the hell is that guy's name for the Steelers?
Mason Rudolph.
And they also got a huge contract in the offseason.
Yeah. He's a phenomenal player. Player. But I don't know. I just think Cleveland might be for real, and I've lost so much on them buying in the highest the last 2 years.
You need to stop yourself. What are you?
I'm telling you, Cleveland. I'm buying Cincinnati right now. I'm buying Cleveland. I'm buying the state of Ohio NFL football. Like, it's crazy. These are the traps that I've gotten into in the last few years, though. So it doesn't pan out very well, and I've always sworn off.
Maybe this is not
dog shit teams. So it's probably not. Maybe it's the curse. So who knows? I don't know. I definitely don't know. Don't ride me right now. I'm betting the Bengals and the Browns, but that's where I'm going this week is the Bengals and the Browns. I don't know why, but I'm doing it.
In the Sunday night game, Seattle. And Minnesota. Give me Seattle
-7 at home. I know there's no crowd or whatever, but I just don't think their defense is very good. Their offense is not very good, as in the Vikings. And I think Russell Wilson 4 touchdowns.
And remember, it's still Kirk Cousins in prime time. So.
Oh yeah, that's that always goes well. He never.
We're all in agreement for all the same reasons. So I got the Seahawks there too.
They stink. Monday night, there are 2 games.
Yeah, how are we gonna do that? How are we gonna also
pick one of them.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Chargers +8. I'm not convinced that New Orleans is good. And I'm not done giving up on Justin Herbert. So give me the Chargers +8 points.
I think I'm gonna have to go Denver +9.5, maybe even money line.
I think it's one of those things. If you get it now because I think
It's +9.5.
That's got to be based on Newton.
Cam
playing.
Newton not playing.
No, that's got 9.5's got to be based on Newton playing. I think because if
Yeah, it wouldn't be 9.5 if they thought
With-
Jared Stidham was playing.
Stidham or Hoyer, because both of them did not.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that would.
I just don't see how he could play. I don't know.
I don't know how he could either. I don't know on Gilmore.
Again, it goes back to our conversation about the NFL. They just
gas pedal and go, baby. Just hope for the best. Wear a mask.
Either way, though, 9.5 is a lot of
That'll
points.
do it. I don't know. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna ride you there. I'm gonna lock that in now though, because I think give that to us at the 9.5, right, Boomy, as opposed to whatever the game line is.
You're saying the
because I want Denver now. Like I would lock it in now at this moment, banking that line is going to
Denver
drop.
+9.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it to you guys.
And then
because if that settles at like 5, I definitely would not be taking Denver at 5.
No.
Right. Well, people always have to remember that we record this, a couple days before. So
pay attention to your lines.
Little.
Don't pay attention to just the bets.
Speaking of that, though, we cannot pick the last game either because there is no line on it because they have no idea who's playing. Buffalo, Tennessee.
Yeah.
They don't know. There's no line on it yet.
I don't have a total. I don't have a spread. Nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing because they have no idea who's going to be on the rosters.
2 undefeated teams too. Should be a good game if they can get there. But wow, the Lakers just took the lead with 21 seconds left.
I'm trying to pull that up, but that was our NFL.
Wow, I am way behind on this game. I've been watching way behind the whole time. Are you? What is going on here? Sorry, go on. I'm way behind. No, keep going. We're going to keep this moving. I'm way behind on the game.
I gotcha.
My Hulu just. Hulu, what are you doing?
Yeah, mine decided to stop working too.
What channel was it on TBS?
ABC.
Or ABC. Excuse me.
Go on, Boomy.
Sorry, I'm trying to get something to work here. Moving into our media recommendations, this could be anything from a TV show, Netflix or Hulu, a movie, podcast, YouTube series, whatever. We're going to throw out a couple of different media recommendations this week. I will start if you have Hulu or FXX or anything like that. The show Dave with Lil Dicky is something I have been on for a week, and it is very, very good. It's, kind of low-key funny, not like, laugh out loud funny, but like kind of a wittier, smarter comedy. And there's some bigger named artists that are in it that make cameos and different stuff like that. So I highly recommend Dave. Shout out to my buddy Tyler Keller, who showed me the ways on that one. That's a good show. I enjoy it.
Love it. I'm trying to think of some podcast that would be interesting to the people because I'm a big podcast guy. I would say if you like Barstool, listen to the Dave Portnoy show with Eddie. Because it goes through like all the like behind the scenes stuff, like Sirius XM, which they're probably not going to be doing anymore, which is I'm not going to have Sirius anymore. And like pretty much like talking about the employees and stuff. So if you like into Barstool or whatever, it's really cool. And it's just cool to actually get like a real conversation with Dave.
We've had Eddie on our show, and he is one of the coolest guys we've ever interviewed.
Yeah, he's one of the best interviewers I've ever listened to. He knows exactly what to ask. Like he may over ask questions, but he knows exactly what to ask.
Definitely. Eddie's one of my favorite guys at Barstool.
Yes.
Matt,
I'm going to Netflix, and my wife is a very big true crime fan, like podcasts, documentaries, Netflix stuff, that kind of stuff. So we were watching that documentary American Murder. It was about,
watched it last weekend.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
totally fucked up story, and it's just one of those things. Like, it's, if you're into that stuff, it was a great watch. I will say that. It opens up a lot of questions about.
I hate Hulu. I hate you, Hulu. Every time I try to watch this game, it goes back to like 2 hours ago in the game. Every time I'm trying to watch this game.
Media recommendation is not Hulu Live.
Not Hulu.
Oh my
No,
God.
Matt, I'm with
American Murder. It was
very
jacked up
good
story though. Totally jacked up story.
Oh
very well done though.
Gosh.
It was. And the way, that.
No, I'm sorry. I'm having a problem here.
I can't get my Hulu to pull up
It
either. I'm
keeps
trying
going
to watch.
back to the cranberry. What is that one with the guy riding the skateboard to the
Yeah.
song?
Dreams.
Oh my gosh. What are you doing?
If it makes you feel any better, the heater up one was 16 seconds
I
left.
know that, but now she's gonna go back to the commercial. It did it. Just go on.
Zach's gonna lose his mind.
I'm gonna lose my mind.
Okay, so we have a TCF top 3 and a not top 3 today. We're going to start with a top 3. And these are our favorite current non-Chicago athletes.
I think Boomy should also get non-Green Bay athletes as an asterisk.
Oh, I wasn't going to take any Green Bay guys. I was kind of figuring that in like my realm, like what I mean, the favorite teams. I wasn't going to take any.
Fair enough. I just want to make that very abundantly clear.
That's a good call, Matty. Does anybody want to go first? Because if not, I'll
go one. I'll go 1-1. I'll go 1-1, and it's I'm going to the Matty Pucks realm. I'm going to the Edmonton Oilers and taking Connor McDavid. That dude, unbelievably fast. I don't have like a coaching or training eye or a scouting eye for hockey, so to say. You don't need one to know that guy's the fastest player on the ice anytime he steps out on the sheet any given night. And he's absolutely dynamite scorer, unbelievable producer, great centerman, good captain already, still a young guy. So he's amazing.
Hey guys, what just happened?
The Lakers, like Markieff Morris just launched the ball out of bounds somehow, some way. There's 2 seconds left. The Heat have the ball. Tyler Harrow just got fouled. 1.6. He's going to the line. We're going from Matty Pucks to Matty NBA play-by-play here. We got Tyler Harrow, the rookie, 20-year-old sensation, strutting over to the line here to put the Heat up to 3. Excuse me.
Tyler Hero made the list for my favorite non-Chicago athletes. I like that kid a lot.
Really?
I don't know if he's going to make my top 3, but
he's on your list to scratch off or add to honorable mention, is what you're saying.
Yes, he's an honorable mention. He's just I've seen some of his high school film. The kid is just a dog, man.
He's got ice water in his veins too. Like, he doesn't really care. He does not care.
Did you guys see that? I know this is off topic, but was it Nigel Hayes at Wisconsin told Tyler Hero to decommit and go to Kentucky when Nigel was at Wisconsin?
No, that's not surprising though. I don't think he was a big fan of his time at Wisconsin.
No, not at all. And speaking of that, did you see all the stuff coming out about Greg Marshall?
Yeah,
not good.
Wow, not good. Zach, do you want to go second for the second overall pick in your favorite non-Chicago athletes?
Yeah, any sport, right?
Any sport.
Any sport. I'm not really like a players guy.
Just take I know who you're going to take. You're going to take Brooks Koepka.
Oh, I guess, yeah, but I guess I could do something like that.
Or Blake Griffin or
Blake Griffin. I like Blake Griffin.
He's giving you Blake Griffin.
He's always my favorite. Now he's not really on like a competitive team, per se with the Pistons, but he's just hilarious. He seems like a
He
good
is
guy
really
too.
fun. I've always liked. I cheered for the Clippers for a while.
I have my number 2 already too, but you guys can go. I don't think either of you will take him. Can I say it?
Obviously, anyone that's watched the show know my favorite non-Chicago athlete is LeBron, so I'll take him in the first round. Second, anyone who watches the show knows this is going to be it as well. Tim Tebow.
They won. Woo, 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 woo.
So I will take LeBron and Tim Tebow on my wraparound pick.
And they'll be hosted on ESPN with Michael Wilbon and Tony Kornheiser as your as your play-by-play crew.
I'm
kidding, Boomy. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Time. Zach,
I come to
your
it.
turn. All right. Well, you can handle it. I'll as long as you can take it. I'll keep dishing it.
My next is Blake Bortles. Blake Bortles. Always been a big Blake Bortles guy. He's what the hell? Why do you gotta be like this, dude?
Yeah, he's a better quarterback than Tebow.
I don't know if I agree with that.
More playoff
money
wins.
in the NFL. Tebow played more games, probably has more touchdowns, probably has all the more yards. So
more money.
But guess what? Blake Bortles is not in the minor leagues playing for the Mets with no hope of making.
He could never. He could never.
Yes, he could.
He's about to be the starter for the Denver Broncos.
You know what, Boomy? Blake Bortles is a lot more like you than Tim Tebow is like you. So you need to understand. Understand this.
Boomy just needs a moral authority. That's why he likes Tim Tebow. That's his guiding light.
He once said if he wasn't a quarterback, he would be working constructions, smoking cigarettes.
That's why I need a guy like Tebow to keep me, with my straight and narrow. Man, that cuts deep there, Big Z.
You're not Tim Tebow level.
No, definitely not. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think so.
We can all aspire to be something. Matt, you get 2 picks for your second and third round.
You aspire to make Tim Tebow every day you wake up.
I'm going Major League Baseball, and I'm going with Nolan Arenado. Best defensive third baseman in the league, one of the best hitters in the league. Absolutely outstanding. Just a masher. One of those guys that people say he might not be as good if he leaves Colorado. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. I don't care what his splits necessarily say. The guy's a hitter, and he's unbelievable defensively. I cannot undersell that. He's got an absolutely just a cannon for an arm.
He is so good.
Third round, I'm gonna do it, and I know I haven't shied away from my man crush on, and it's been relatively recent. Somewhat new onto the scene within the last year or so, but it's the Bayou Bengal himself, Joey B, Joe Burrow.
I like that.
I don't.
You have a picture or a quick video.
You don't like Joe Burrow?
Smoking a cigar minutes
after. I don't like anybody from LSU.
Smoking a cigar the way he did minutes after winning the national title game, just looking as cool as possibly be. He's owns the world already, and I'm going with Joey B. He's going to turn the Bengals around into at least a team to worry about. I'll put it that way.
Is he going to have more success than Andy Dalton did? I'm not talking skill-wise, as far as winning-wise.
Yeah. I think
so.
Partially because, I'm not a fan of Zach Taylor personally, but I think Marvin Lewis's time was done, and if he wasn't going to win with Carson Palmer and some of those teams that he had with some of the players that they had offensively with Carson Palmer, then I don't think Marvin Lewis was going to win with anybody.
Yeah. No, I don't want to make it sound like I hate Joe Burrow. It's just he went to LSU, so I don't like anybody from LSU. But he's got a great story. He's a hell of a player, but I don't like anybody that went to LSU.
He did say current players, Boomy, or Zach, excuse me.
Marshawn Lynch retired, right?
Yeah.
And I loved him.
Well, there you go. That's an honorable mention at least.
He's got an online TV show that is absolutely hilarious.
I'm going to take him,
Yeah, I'll give it to you. He's close enough removed. My last pick, This is hard because he's in the division. I love Trevor Bauer.
He may
Yeah,
not
I would go with him.
be. He may be on the Cubs. Maybe.
Yeah, I think he can, like, he rubs like old baseball purists the wrong way, and I think that's why I like him.
He
And
does what he
doesn't,
wants. He does exactly what he wants. He does. He annoys the people.
Yep. I also had on my
I
honorable
don't
mention
really
list
like it that much.
my favorite player in the playoffs so far, Jai-Man Choi, the first baseman.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Did you guys see the picture I had, or it was like that video and him putting the sunglasses on?
Yeah.
Just that was like the coolest move right there.
He does not look like a
ready to go.
professional baseball player, but he can just hit bombs.
He's just like he's literally always having fun with the game too.
Yes, definitely. Speaking of that, I also had Fernando Tatis Jr. I think that was a very obvious pick. I think we all like Tatis. I also had Tyler Hero and Pete Alonso. I actually like. He went to Florida, so I've been following him for a while. And he seems like a pretty decent guy. So that was my honorable mention list. Did you guys have anybody on your honorable mention list?
Same team as Alonso, Jacob deGrom. Best pitcher of baseball by far. Outstanding to watch. He throws, upwards of 98, 99 pretty regularly. Has just a ridiculous breaking ball. Just can dominate games with a dog shit team around him. He just keeps winning Cy Youngs. So that's definitely one for me.
So you're more of a Grom than a Syndergaard guy?
Yeah, you can keep Syndergaard. I think Syndergaard's trash.
I will have no problem filling out the list for the next subject, though.
That works, because let's jump into the not
you get
top.
One, you get 1-1 then. You get 1-1.
Aaron Rodgers. I hate Aaron Rodgers. I don't care how he's good. That's good. I hate him. I hate him.
I'd hate him too if he destroyed my team every year.
You know what? We both of our starting quarterbacks have won Super Bowl.
That's true.
That is
very
true.
Very true. Matt, do you want to go second?
Yes. LeBron James.
Knew that was coming.
That's like 1A for me, or 1B.
I can't.
He beat the Bulls so many times.
Can't.
That's why I hate him. I don't hate him for other things. I hate him because he just. That's why I don't get it, Boomy. He destroyed so many chances that we had.
I don't live in the past.
Apparently, you don't, because you're a Packers fan.
That one hurt.
2 Super Bowls. I got these great quarterbacks. I got the greatest quarterbacks of all time. 2 Super Bowls.
More than you've seen, bud.
When LeBron hit that 3 in the corner.
Shut up.
When LeBron hit that 3 in the corner against the Bulls, that was
the worst.
I just erased that memory from my brain. I do. My first round pick, you'll both enjoy. My least favorite non-criminal on the planet, Yadier Molina. I hate Yadier Molina with every fiber of my being. He embodies the St. Louis Cardinals. I hate the Cardinals. I hate Yadier Molina. He's got a punchable face. He's got a dumb neck tattoo. I just want to hit him. So that's what I'm going to take in the first round. My second round pick, I'm going to go Draymond Green. I don't know what it is about Draymond Green. I think he's cheap. I think he's dirty. I hate Draymond Green.
I do not like that one.
all right. I'm up, and then you got the wrap. Zach.
Okay.
I'm going Grayson Allen because Grayson Allen's from Duke.
I had that on my list.
Grayson Allen's a fucking douchebag, and I hate Grayson Allen with all of my being from the bottom of my heart.
Mine, we can all agree on Ryan Braun. I hate Ryan Braun. Ryan Braun is the worst human. He lies. He's mean to people. Bad guy for sure. Mm-hmm. Do I go again, or
you got to wrap around?
Who is some players that I can hate? There's trying to think. Daniel Murphy.
Give you one you might enjoy.
Daniel Murphy.
Daniel Murphy is a good one.
That's a good pick.
That guy.
That's a good one.
In that series, and then he comes and plays with the Cubs and he stinks.
And he's kind of a douchebag too.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying that's beside the point. But he hit
Yeah.
what? He put like what 7 home runs against the Cubs in a 4-game span. My
Yeah.
good. And then what? A year or so later, he signs with the Cubs. Stinks.
Stinks. That's a good choice.
Jock Peterson, and it's solely because he has the most punchable face on the planet.
I like Jock Peterson.
You would,
but I see what you're saying though.
it's
I
that
kind of
dopey little
understand.
circular face that he's such a little smart ass when good things happen. He's got that fucking dumb smirk that when somebody else does something, he's like, and he's always wearing his hat like this. And I don't know. I don't like the guy. That's exactly how I was just wearing my hat, which is weird, but I was just wearing it how I was saying I hate how Jock Peterson does. So I guess I'd punch myself in the face too. Definitely would punch Jock Peterson in the face. So I don't like that guy.
That's not a bad pick. I did not expect you to go there. My last and final pick, Ben Roethlisberger. I've never liked Ben Roethlisberger. I don't think he's a good person. I just don't like the guy. And speaking of another punchable face, but
I have an honorable mention. It wouldn't work because of how this works, but A.J. Brzezinski, hate him.
Yes. Yep. Oh yeah.
I know he played for the White Sox, but he also played for the Braves. So
you can take AJ on the Braves. I hate
AJ Brzezinski calling any Cubs game ever.
Let's throw a couple historic players that maybe are not around anymore that you guys did like or didn't like growing up. I'm just curious because mine growing up outside of the Cubs, Barry Bonds is my favorite baseball player of all time, and my dad hated that I loved Barry Bonds. Absolutely hated that I loved Bonds. So
yeah, I liked Barry Bonds a lot.
A long time ago, I didn't like Albert Pujols.
Yeah.
It was awesome when he bailed on the Cardinals.
Well, yeah, when he hit all those home runs.
Yeah, Mark McGwire was like an evil one in my brain. There was another one I just had, and I can't remember it. Damn it. Oh, Reggie Miller. I hated Reggie Miller growing up.
Yeah, Reggie Miller was Isaiah Thomas was probably numero uno for me growing up as a kid. But
that's not a bad one.
Bill and Beer, the whole Bad Boys Pistons.
I also had on like current ones, I had Floyd Mayweather just because he's a scumbag.
Christian Laettner was another one for me too.
Yep, that's a good one. Obviously, like some of the guys that were just like bad people, like John Rocker. People
bad guy.
Yeah, those can all be included on that list. Any other honorable mentions?
I got nothing.
All right, boys. Well, that was episode 82. Thanks again to Dr. Elie Daniel for coming on the show with us in part 2 this week. Make sure that you check out the Twitter main page at typical_Chicago. Head to Facebook, Instagram, type in Typical Chicago Fans and like those pages. Head on over to the YouTube page, subscribe for all of our content in video form. Make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at BoomyTCF. Follow Zach at ZLiliaTCF. And, of course, Matt at schools_01. Head on over to 26shirts.com/Chicago and use our promo code Typical Chicago Fans for 15% off your order. Help out a good cause, get some great merch, and help out the podcast. Like we said, 26shirts.com/Chicago. Promo code Typical Chicago Fans. Boys, that was episode 82. We love you all.
Peace.